All right, y'all, how's it going? As you seen by the title of this video, yes, I am trying to, I'm trying to sell the boat that I currently have to get into a different one. I'll tell you the reason why is that I've been, trying to take more and more people fishing, and I find myself, which more so I take a lot of different veterans fishing. I've had a couple trips where I've had some fellows that were pretty, well, they were pretty bad off as far as being able to move, movement and stuff like that. And of course, my boat, a couple able bodies, it is a perfect boat for that. It's, I mean, I love that boat for many, many, many reasons. But I've got to start looking forward to, what I want to do in the future, and that's to take more people fishing. Not just necessarily all veterans, but I want to start taking them fishing a lot more. But I want to get into a boat where once we're finally in the boat, the getting in and getting out, it's always going to be a problem. But once we're finally in the boat, I have a lot more open space for these folks to move around. But what I done is I went back, I found my old video where I went over the boat initially. So I kind of chopped it up a little bit just to get to the meat of the matter, which is pretty much everything that you see in that video that's on the boat in that video is going to come with the boat. So I'll let you watch that, and then I will wrap it up at the end, and I will tell you some of the extra stuff that I'm going to also add to the boat. Kind of not so much sweeten the deal, but make it worth your while to consider it. All right, y'all. I've been asked a few times about the setup on my boat, how I got it, set up, how I fish it, what I do, and what kind of boat it is. I've been asked that a lot of times. Well, I'm going to show you. I'm going to do a walk around on this thing. Well, I was going to wash it, then I said the heck with it. This is a tool for me. I know a lot of guys when they do these videos, they'll go out and get the boats pressure washed and waxed and whatever else they do. But you're going to see it exactly how I fish it. So what this is a low Catfish 20. All right. Unfortunately, they're not going to make this boat no more. 2023 was last year on this boat. They got a new one coming out. I think it's called the Expedition. I'll get more solid information on that whenever I know for more of a fact of what it's going to be called. At the same time, this boat works for a lot of people. It works great for me. I love having, I always think about getting a Sea Ark, stuff like that, because they're a little bit built for bigger water and whatnot. But this one here, I've had it on some pretty rough water, and it does a pretty good job. But what we'll do is we'll continue to walk around. Here's what they call sponson boxes, which are, I think if you own an aluminum boat, they are a must. They help with planing out. They help with holding up, a big motor like this on the back out of the water. You can see I got my LED lights here. Those are for when I go night fishing. These are my white lights, and these are my black lights. They do pretty well. I got some here, but I should have got a bigger set to go here for at nighttime. But that's all right. And I got my 150 Pro XS, good motor, good 4-stroke. They're bulletproof. Again, I got the LED lights on this side. Eventually, I'm going to plan on putting some more LED lights down the side of this thing. But yeah, if you ever get one of these boats, and when they come out with the new one, which I think it's going to be called the Expedition, most definitely get the tandem axle trailer. But yeah, this thing, it's 20 foot long. It's 82 inches across the bottom. I love it. I love it. I think it's 24 inch sides, I do believe, or it could be taller than that. I apologize. I don't have all the specs off the top of my head. But as you can see, I'll show you, these are my multi-bar setups. They work perfect. Old Colton, he did a solid with the colors on these, and he can make you any custom colors you want for your boat. These are my new slings from John Bubba New. He makes these. These are to keep your rods safe when you're bouncing down the river hitting waves. You can lock them in with these. They work real well. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to climb up in the boat and just kind of get to the heart of the matter here. So we'll start off on the front, and I'll show you how I got it laid out. Okay, so up here is basically this is my 36 volt Terrova, which works great for dragging, spot locking, you name it. It works perfect for that. And of course I got my Lowrance unit up here, and that helps for, if I'm chasing white bass or whatever I'm chasing. Now the The only complaint, well, actually I got a few complaints on this boat, but I'll start off with the first one. The first complaint I got on this boat is you've got this box here, okay? That is the access. I mean, you can see how big it is. It's not very big at all, but it goes all the way down here to the front of the live well, all the way back across here, and all the way up there. So you've got a lot of room to store stuff. So I really wish they'd have put like in this area here. I really wish they'd have put like a big latch, just like they did with the live well here. Because you know, once you stack everything in there, it all wants to slide back. So I don't know. I mean, I make it work, but I got things, and I got all my life jackets in there. I've got all my drift socks. This is my 4-foot drift sock, and then I've got two 24-inch drift socks, and they have their place. A lot of times when I throw out the big drift sock, it's almost like a park brake for this boat. Even though it's a 20-footer, it's a pretty good sized drift sock. And I got, you can see down in there, I got my throw nets, more life jackets. I've got probably 4 or 5 throw nets down there. I mean, for no reason, because I don't fish with shad a whole lot, but I guess whenever I want to, I'll have to throw nets to do it. Then we'll come up here to the live well. Let me move this stuff out of the way. And we'll come up here to the live well, which I'm impressed with this live well. Now, I had to do some work to it, because as you can see, it's a pretty good sized live well. They call it a 60-gallon live well. If you fill it completely full, it's about a 65-gallon live well. But see, I had to add, it come in with a pump in and then a recirc, so I had to add the pump out option, which I just have a hose that I could dump down in there. Other than that, it acts like a second recirc. Then I added the aerators, and one of these tubes here, let me get you straight here. One of these tubes here I can unhook, and I've got a diffuser, which you can see where it sits, and then I can run an oxygen bottle. So that's kind of the biggest upgrades that I've had to do to this boat so far, is to do that. So if I am fishing a tournament, which I don't fish a bunch, but when I do, fish care is key. So we'll continue on. So we'll go to this side of the boat, and this is one of my favorite features, and I know a lot of other boats have it, but this is the part about this boat that I like. It's got, I don't know, you could fit 10-foot rods in here if you wanted to. The only thing I didn't like is, you see I put the carpet in the back there because, well, it was all aluminum, and I didn't want my reels constantly rubbing on the side of the aluminum, messing them up. You know, we put a little bit of money in our fishing equipment, want it to last as long as possible. And then second thing I added was this box here. Now, I don't know, I guess maybe like the Sea Arcs and stuff like that, they may have pretty good storage in them, but this one here was just lacking. It was just lacking storage. So this is just a little, I think it's a 52-inch like truck box is all it is. And of course I like sitting and watching the rods out the back, which you can put 2 seats in the back here to do that, but I like leaving this area open, you know, for landing fish, fighting fish, whatever. That's still in here from this past Saturday when I took a friend of mine fishing. But yeah, so I'll show you what I got in here. That's pretty much all I got. Got my camera equipment, got some snivel gear, extra rags, tackle stuff. It holds quite a bit of stuff, you know. I mean, it's not perfect. Everything still moves around a little bit, but it stores everything in there that I need it to store. And of course, you can't go wrong with your Cat River anchors. I've got 3 of these now. I finally picked up the smaller ones because I had their 21-pounder, and that thing was tough. It was tough trying to, you know, when you have to move a lot, it just makes it tough. Then back here, well, I'll show you the seats here. So these seats here, this is one thing, I can't go over too much of the new design on the new boat they're coming out with. It's gonna, well, I tell you this, it's going to be the exact same hull, okay? So the front deck and the back deck is gonna be the same. What they're gonna be missing is this storage down here. So I'll show you what I keep down here. So on this side is where I keep all my dragon weights, planer boards, all that stuff. I got a bunch of different varieties of dragon weights down there. And then on this side here, both of these seats fold up. Now that I don't understand. You'd think they could have just put like a That's another thing I don't like. This could have been well used, you know, access to storage. But either way, so I got my cook stove over there, got my fuel for the cook stove, got some hand warmers, and underneath all this, I've got my tools, my first aid kit and stuff. So that, then we'll come over here to the console, to the command center. Okay, so how I got all this set up, as you can tell, I got a 12 Lowrance, I got a 9 Lowrance. That's what I use this mainly for sonar, side scan, down scan. That's always on maps unless I'm dragging. That's why I got it on this ram mount so I can spin it when I'm, you know, when I'm sitting up there. And then, but it's a pretty basic console. It's got the tilt steering. Let's see, yeah, it's got all your accessories. It works pretty good. This is my GoPro battery station here. It's where I charge my GoPro, and the batteries for it, and everything else I need charged. So on the LED lights that I had installed, it's this guy right here. This guy right here, the Night Glow custom LED lighting. He did a heck of a job, man. I'm telling you, he did a real good job on it. He put switches everywhere. He's got these the deck lightings. I got them there, and on the same side there. And then he got me the, you know, I got the interior switch. I got the black light switch. I got the, you know, my front headlight switch. And then I even got a switch back here in the back. So I told him I wanted a switch in the back for when if I'm fighting a fish at night, then I can turn this on. Well, this turns on my white lights that I have back there. So yeah, that's kind of the setup up till there. And of course I made these brackets to mount my cooler and stuff, which it works better back here. I had it like over here, and I had this mounted on a multi-bar, like what do they call them things? I guess bait board rack, something like that. Now I would lift this up, but I've got bait in here. But I got what I'm running is I'm running a 124 amp hour, 125 amp hour cranking battery, and I've got 300 amp hour trolling motor batteries. Now, okay, so here's another small little tip that if you really think about it, the 36 volt big trolling motor that they were, well, I don't say they were trying to sell me on, but was kind of like, well, it would save room because it's a smaller battery compared to 300 amp hour batteries. And well, the thing is one 36 volt battery is about $3,000. That's a lot of money. But one 100 amp hour battery is still about $600-700. Still a lot of money, but it's easier and way cheaper just to replace one if it goes bad than opposed to having a bad cell in a 36 volt battery and you got to replace the whole thing. So just food for thought on that. But going on back here, this old ammo can that I got mounted. Okay, keep all my lead in there for when I'm anchor fishing. And then the one good thing about this boat that I love the most, I know there's a couple of them out there that do have it, but is that live well right there. Okay, so this is obviously, for me, it's a bait well during the times of year where I want to keep live bait. So it works out pretty good. And this is just, you know, more storage, pretty deep box. I've got a mixture of everything in there, and it works good for what I need it for. But other than that, let me get back up here on top. But other than that, it's a good boat. Oh, here's another question. Okay, so I get asked this a lot about my camera setup. Okay, so this is all this is I think this is inch and a half, I think, inch and a quarter PVC pipe. And of course this is just a regular seat pedestal. And what I've done is to make it all work, because I had this room here. That's old Yellow Jacket. But I have this room here, so what I've done is I drilled a hole and I cut another pedestal down, and then of course you can see where I got it mounted. So now I can take this, the regular pedestal mount, post, put it in there, and there you are. And then of course the handle that I got on my GoPro just slides right inside there and everything's fine. But that's it, simple. It does good, it doesn't move a whole lot. This thing here, I got a small umbrella that'll sit over this, you know, for all them hot days when I don't want it to get, you know, my camera overheat, because it will. But yeah, that's the boat in a nutshell. Okay, so, you know, like I went over in the video, I went through all the stuff that was already on the boat. the few things that I'm going to add to it is I'm going to add 2 sets of planer boards. Which I got them down there. As a matter of fact, I got 2 sets of the Armed Forces boards that will go with the boat. I'm going to toss in one of my new rods and one of my old rods. I'm going to add the net that you've seen. I'm going to leave that in the boat. I got the Spread'em planer board holders that are on the multi-bars now, which are not in that video, but I have them on there now. So you'll have that. You know, like I showed in the video, it's going to come with all 3 HDS Gen 3s. I got 2 9s and 1 12 that'll go with it. I kind of showed you the batteries in the video, but I've got 4 ionic lithium batteries, which I don't even, they've got 5,000 charge cycles on them. I don't think I've even hit 100, to be honest with you. So they got plenty of good life left in them. You know, the motor never had an issue outside of a few little things that were they were easy fixes, you know, things like that. The motor, as of the time of me filming this video, has right around 145 hours on it. So it's already went through its first service as far as oil change, lower unit change, fuel filter change, stuff like that. So it's already went through its first service. Obviously that number is going to kind of go up the longer I have to hold on to the boat to, you know, 'cause I still got to fish, I still got to make videos, still, you know, I still got to take, you know, the people that I've got obligated, you know, to take fishing. So so that number is going to consistently go up. What I'm going to do is at the end of this video, I'm going to leave like a title card. It's going to have my email address in it because I don't want, you know, a bunch of people calling and stuff like that. So, but I will give you my email address. So if you're interested, if you're a serious, you know, seriously interested in it, you can go ahead and hit me up and send me an email. Don't worry about the comments because I don't like, you know, I don't like having people's, you know, private information public. So if like just hit me up on that email and then we can correspond through that. And then if need be, then we'll exchange numbers and go from there. But yeah, so I'll also say, like, I mean, I hate to get rid of the boat because once I seen it, I took a chance, and I'll tie this back into why I didn't go with the new low, which I kept calling it the Expedition in the video. It's actually called the Outlet 20. So I had a meeting with, you know, some of the engineers, stuff like that, some of the dealers, and kind of give them my thoughts on what would make them kind of a good catfish boat. Now, I'm not going to say not the Sea Ark or the G3s or the, you know, the big name boats that are out there, but somebody that wanted to get a boat like that. Well, I sat down, I wasted a couple hours of my time because they took absolutely 0 ideas from me. So I'm not going to get rid of one boat to get into another one that's exactly the same. So either way, if you're serious, then, you know, send me an email. And we'll correspond that way, and like I said, until we figure something out. But I will say this: I'm not going to put the price out because I don't like giving, you know, money stuff publicly. But I am very firm on the price, and I promise you, I am not making a dime on it. I don't, like you've seen me, or you've heard me say a bunch of times, I don't need to make no more money than I have to. And the only thing I'm looking for is payoff on this boat. Just so when I go to get, you know, qualified for the next boat, I don't have this hanging over me. But anyway, I hope I can get this boat moved pretty quick. When I get the new boat, I've got way bigger plans for that, way bigger plans for a lot of you guys that watch my channel. I got a lot of big plans coming up next year, but all of it, you know, kind of revolves around this little situation, you know, working out. And that's the other thing too, you know, I don't have to sell the boat. I would like to move on to something else, but I don't have to sell the boat. So, and this whole deal is either going to work or it won't. And I know that going into it. So we'll see what happens. But either way, I appreciate you watching this one, and I'll catch you on the next one.